Following decades of experiencer claims and speculation, being met with stigma, ridicule, and a variety of highly controlled cover-ups, an unprecedented move was made this May when the United States government released dozens of files related to UAP, formerly known as UFOs. Many are speaking on this release, which so far has come in 2 phases and has been dubbed P.U.R.S.U.E, Presidential Unsealing and Reporting System for UAP Encounters. The public is clearly divided on this for many reasons, and not just non-believers versus believers. This highly controversial file release has some saying it's all a distraction, while ufologists are hopeful, and whistleblowers like Lou Elizondo have taken to social media to thank this administration, naming Trump personally in this step toward disclosure. But whether you're for, against, or indifferent to this UFO file release and the surreal situation in which we find ourselves, it's proving to be a major news story. Not just talked about by conspiracy theorists, TikTok, clickbait, or paranormal researchers like us, but in mainstream hard news. So what does this mean? Is it all a distraction? Can we trust the information being fed to us? Or the possible motives behind this release? This is Fright Life, a paranormal podcast, and on this episode, we will discuss P.U.R.S.U.E, the Presidential Unsealing and Reporting System for UAP Encounters.
Hey, welcome to Fright Life. We're your hosts, Joss and Monique.
Hello.
And on this episode, we are discussing P.U.R.S.U.E.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say the whole thing because I can't remember what it is.
But basically, it's this recent release of the UFO files, like officially released by the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll get into that in a moment. But we obviously have an announcement to make. If you're watching us rather than just listening, you will see.
You might notice that we're on camera.
We are on camera.
This is a long time coming. We've been doing a lot of work in the studio to get it ready for this production. Mm-hmm. We have our friend Jake in the studio here with us. He's behind the camera over there, and he'll be helping us out with all the video stuff, which is so exciting.
Yes, everyone say hi to Jake. We are very excited to have him. He's been unofficially on our team for a long time, and we have a lot of really cool projects in store that we will be happy to have him join us for.
Yeah, we keep going, hey, we're going to film some stuff. Are you ready? And then he's like, yeah, I'm ready. And then we're like, okay, we'll get back to you.
Yeah, so we're doing it. We're doing the thing.
Before we get really into it, though, I do want to bring up a little something that happened to you on, what was that, Friday?
Oh, I don't even remember. It was last week, and it was, the timing is bonkers on this, okay? So last episode, we talked about whistleblowers and watchdogs, or watchdogs and whistleblowers. There was a little...
Whistle dogs and watch...
Yeah.
Yeah, we put it to a vote in my little group chat with my friends, and they were immediately super unhelpful, but hilarious as always. Yeah. And I don't think that we used any of their input in deciding. But anyway, last episode.
Yes, we talked about our experience at the McMinimans, the McMinnville UFO Festival, mm-hmm. and how we sat in on the discussion given by Jeremy Corbel, George Knapp, and whistleblower Dylan Boreland. Okay, so that's what we talked about last time. And then the next day, I think after that release, mm-hmm.
Jeremy
Scott with Into the Paranormal radio show reached out, and he's like, hey, can you come on the show tonight? And we were like, sure, we're not doing anything. We're
Hold
happy
on.
to join.
We're very busy.
Sure.
Okay. So it was like we could squeeze it in.
Yeah. Well, for Jeremy,
No,
for that show.
we were doing nothing, and it was exciting that he asked us to join.
Yes. And, we have been talking about government, file releases, whistleblowers, and, what this current landscape of all of this, cover up and everything means. So the next day I'm at my day job, which is vastly different than this.
Your school is haunted, so
yeah, sometimes
there's some crossover, I guess.
Sometimes there's some crossover, but I was up in my office, I think planning like summer playground stuff, and one of my employees came up to my office and he was like, "There's a U.S. Marshal here to see you." And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, what does that mean?"
Immediately, like, are there men in black suits with him?
Right. And he was like, just what I said. I have no other information. There's a U.S. Marshal outside. He asked for you. And I was going over, like, time slowed down. And I was like, okay.
Did your ears get hot?
Yeah. And I was actually on the phone with my business partner. So I was like, I promise nothing is weird. And then I'm like, wait, have I done something? It's like that airport thing where you're like, what if I accidentally have a gun, like going through security? Like, I know I definitely don't, but
I thought I took care of those warrants. I swear. Okay.
For real. So I was like, I promise nothing is weird. I'll call you back. I mean, something was definitely weird, but I hadn't done anything.
Right.
So I'm walking down to meet this U.S. Marshal, and everything is going through like all of these possibilities that are just outlandish, like running through my mind. And then I'm like, wait, we've been talking to some people. We talked to Jeremy Corbel. He talked about being, tapped like by the CIA.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, this is it. I was so ready. And I was like, I'm on to something. Like, I don't know. And I approach this guy and he shows his badge and he's like, actually, I'm on here on behalf of, some other agency, but I'm in charge of this task force. And I'm like, what is going on? He's like, obviously, you're not in trouble. And I was like, well, that wasn't actually obvious to me based on my like anxiety issues, but thanks for starting with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it turned out to be a completely unrelated thing. I have no information about what they were asking for, but it was some like Facebook share that I had done years ago to like try and help out with something that I had just passed on like 10th hand information.
Right.
So, I didn't have any way to help out with their investigation, but it was definitely interesting timing.
So I would have been so disappointed. That's just
I was a little disappointed that I couldn't help because it is something that
Sure.
I would like to be able to help with if I knew more. And I don't think I can talk about the case. It's not paranormal related, I don't think. But I did leave that like, maybe that is a more interesting case than I thought. And I'm sort of accidentally involved with it, which is kind of a fun, exciting thing. But it didn't have to do with the UAP stuff I thought it may have had to do with.
I have a theory about chemtrails,
Yeah.
And I was on the phone with somebody just talking about it, and then I hung up and then immediately got a call from an unknown number. And I was just like, oh,
They're listening.
they're listening.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can relate.
Maybe when we get big enough. Maybe if this YouTube situation takes off, they'll really start listening.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
All right. Well, now that the important business is out of the way.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. So essentially, we are here today to talk about this UAP file release, right? And after rumblings from independent media and continued congressional hearings and some behind the scenes work by a lot of the people we talked about on our last episode, there were some file releases that actually took place. It had been promised for a long time, but basically, there was a large kind of purge of files onto the war.gov/UFO.
Yeah.
And it's over 160 files.
There's been 2 releases now.
Right. So the first release took place on May 8th, and the second release was May 22nd, so just this past weekend, like Friday. And yeah, some of the files had been seen before. Some were, more interesting than others, and we'll get into those in this episode.
I did a little asking Jeeves and kind of, I don't know, came to the conclusion that these are the most intriguing of the...
Oh, you want to get into breaking them down right now?
We can.
Well, let's do...
I'm ready.
Okay, let's real quick do kind of a general.
Okay.
So basically, these files consist of military video, officer and pilot testimony, official intelligence memos, radar and sensor data, mission transcripts, and audio from NASA missions. Right. And documented investigations dating back to the 1940s.
Okay. So why is this so important? Let's dig into that real quick. These are all accounts that are reported by people who are trained observers.
Yes, many of them are. There is an array of source material. I just listed that. They're from different, sources, but generally these are files the government has held on to. So while they're a little underwhelming for people who have been digging into this for a long time and aren't new to the UFO UAP thing, one thing is for sure, and that is it's just proof that the government has been keeping tabs on this and keeping files on this. I do want to mention real quick. So the quote from President Donald Trump when he was about to release these, it says, "Whereas previous administrations have failed to be transparent on this subject, with these new documents and videos, people can decide for themselves what the hell is going on. Have fun. Enjoy."
What?
Yeah, so what do you make of that?
I hate it.
Yeah. Tell me why.
Well, okay, politics aside, it almost is like he's kind of poking fun at it a little bit.
Right.
Which I hadn't read that before, and just hearing it right now, I just want to throw this whole episode out the window.
No, because it's still, even if this were all a sham, it just overlaps into the conspiracy idea. So we're still in the realm.
We're still in the realm.
So
sure.
I do think that's interesting. First, he talks about, he has to dump on previous administrations because that's his MO. And then the have fun, enjoy does take it down from a level of seriousness for sure, right? It dilutes it a little bit.
What a weird way to...
Yeah.
I mean, but that aside,
okay,
there are still some things in this report that are interesting and definitely worth looking into farther.
Yeah, for sure. Upon this release, my first question would be, why now? After decades upon decades of a systematic cover-up and multiple disinformation campaigns, why is it just being released all at this time?
Well, I feel like a big part of it is all of the congressional hearings that we've been getting. And, this is not new, like we've talked about in previous episodes. They've done this time after time after time since the 40s.
They haven't done this.
Right.
This is unprecedented. So whether you're into it or not, or believe that it has a specific agenda, and that's something I'm kind of inclined to think, this hasn't happened before. The release of any files in any way. Aside from Freedom of Information Act and declassification of files after a certain amount of time, this kind of file or dump onto the public is new. It's never happened.
Right. Do you think that the lead up to that is because of the pressure that has been put on the government?
Yes. So
because of these
hearings, right. That could be part of it, and that is what a lot of people we've been talking to attribute to it.
Okay.
Before we dive into that, because that opens up a whole new thing.
Okay.
Is my initial thought, my initial theory, and that goes with that first statement, that first sentence in the statement made by Trump. Previous administrations have failed. Before I even heard that, I think he was on Air Force One. He was on a plane, and a reporter said, "Hey, did you hear that Obama said aliens are real?" Which is not actually what he said, but and Trump was like, "Well, that's classified information." And he kind of stumbled. He shouldn't have said that. And then right after that, he was like, "You know what? I'm going to release the files."
Yeah.
So my own personal theory, and I mentioned it last episode, and I'm calling it now the cool dad theory.
Yeah.
So I think because he has that thing about not wanting Obama to be the beloved cool dad of America, he had to then one up Obama saying, kind of in a tongue-in-cheek way, "Oh yeah, it's real," and say, "Okay, yeah, I'm going to share the information so they love me more."
Totally.
Than they love Obama. So that's
makes sense.
That's the cool dad theory. And, I'm obviously mostly joking about that. But I don't know. Knowing his personality type, I think that's part of it.
Yeah. He wants to make his mark on the world.
Right.
So if he's the one to release the files and the alien files.
Yeah. Right.
Then he's, no matter what else he's done, he will be in the history books as the guy who, without question, aliens are real. He's the guy.
Well, we haven't gotten to there yet, and we'll talk about that more too.
Well, we got time.
Yeah. A lot of people also think this is being issued as a distraction to
also true.
Everything else that's going on. Basically everything else that he's doing or not doing.
Right. Again, cool dad theory.
Yeah,
applies.
I guess that still goes with it, right? I'm also inclined to think, and we're just kind of posing these, and then we'll, unpack as we go. Does this file release mean something is coming? Or they want us to believe something is coming? They're kind of really peppering this information in a nonchalant way lately.
Yeah.
And so I have to wonder, what is the agenda behind that? Is it some sort of psyop? Is it some sort of we know what's about to take place, so we better start rolling out some more information so they are, inundated with these things.
Absolutely.
And then it's kind of mundane by the time this happens.
Yeah.
Or do they want us to think that? And that's a whole nother conspiracy theory where it's
we touched on it a little bit on our last episode.
Yeah.
It's like when the UFO craze happened in the 40s, all of a sudden, all media, TV, radio, comic books, magazines, everything was
sci-fi.
Sci-fi, aliens, UFOs. And to your point, it's sort of desensitizing.
Right.
Getting everybody ready that this is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's like the same thing with ghost hunting, kind of. We are in spooky situations a lot of the time, and sometimes weird stuff happens, and then we're like, wow, that was weird and scary. Okay, let's go over here now. It's doesn't have as big of of
an impact.
Shock.
Yeah. For sure. And then we get into, was it provoked? And that is what you were mentioning. Mm-hmm. That is what Jeremy Corbel is saying, that at least to some degree, the work behind the scenes, the congressional hearings, the whistleblowers, and them actually getting a lot of these videos that are in the files, and some which hadn't been released yet.
Right.
Obtaining those from whistleblowers, from people who have that information, kind of going around the government for that and saying, well, we have these files, so you better share them or we will.
Yeah.
And that's, kind of what Jeremy Corbel is out there doing. George Knapp is out there doing. And he's really saying, the work we've been putting in, that is what has gotten us to this point.
Yeah. Yeah. And
because we're putting the pressure on.
We've gotten kind of into Jeremy Corbel's work a little bit more because of Sleeping Dog and meeting him at UFO Fest, and he's a contentious person. There are people on both sides that are like, this guy's full of it, and then other people are like, he's the guy, he's getting it done. So
yeah, but I even think he's the type of person who would say, question me, but do it in a way, in a respectful way, but like we should question everything.
Yeah.
And everyone we get our news from. And not necessarily in like a massive conspiratorial way, but more just like, do your own homework. I'm just here to ask the questions. I'm here to poke the bear and keep things moving.
Yeah.
I think that's his personality type.
I agree.
That's his agenda, is to disrupt, to ask the questions as an independent journalist.
Mm-hmm.
And he sort of does the self-deprecating thing of like, I'm just a bearded, tattooed, quasi-journalist guy.
Yeah.
But it's like, you're a journalist. You're out there. You're asking the questions. You're at the hearings. You're someone people come to
Yeah.
with private information, sensitive information. You've done it. You're a journalist. I mean, and really having George Knapp in his corner as a mentor is epic.
Yeah.
So yeah, we talked about them last time. If you haven't listened to our Whistleblowers and Watchdogs episode, go back and check it out. But yeah, they've had a major role in this.
Yeah.
I think.
And I mean, it's not just them, it's their whole team and everything that they're trying to do. It's just so cool. So I think you're right. I think it is a little bit of that provocation where they're like, we're going to put this out. So you can either do it officially or it's coming out anyway. So,
right.
So you want to talk about these dang files now? I'm just like,
yeah. I mean, we've been talking about them, but you mean the specific files.
Like
Some
individual files.
Okay. I mean, there are
Open
hundreds.
the folders.
Yeah. There are hundreds. You can go on war.gov/UFO. You can download them.
Mm-hmm.
You can sift through all of them. They definitely made the site very like nerd friendly on this. Like it looks like enhanced. Like it looks like what you would
it looks
expect.
like a Marvel movie.
Yeah,
for sure.
like,
yeah.
And I don't know if that's good or bad. Like they definitely made it look like how we would want it to look. But then it's like, are we just buying into this? And it's all like aesthetically wrapped up in the perfect
it's so frustrating because it is like, come on guys, but also like I'm interested. But also like don't, but also like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me which files stood out to you.
Okay, so I have a little list. I think there's maybe 5 or 6 in here that are worth just like taking a quick look at. And again, if you want more, you can
check them out. Yeah.
Check them out. So we are big fans of like 1960s era astronauts.
Yes.
We love the story of going to the moon, whether they went or not. So the first one here is the Apollo 11 Buzz Aldrin debrief.
This one holds a special place in my heart, not the file, but this story and Buzz Aldrin himself. And I do want to put a pin in this and remember to go back to it because I think I have it planned for this July that we do an episode about the Apollo missions, specifically about Buzz Aldrin, because the fact that this is in here is very interesting to me for several reasons. But yes, go ahead. So this is NASA-A11-UAP-1969.
Yep. That's
the Apollo 11 transcript file.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, this is from NASA. It's an official transcript / debrief connected to the Apollo 11 mission and Buzz Aldrin. This is the transcript that talks about when he is on the radio with NASA and he's describing an illuminated object that he can see from the shuttle or capsule. I guess back then it was the space capsule or whatever, as they're orbiting the moon. And this is something that is sort of controversial. And there's a lot of people who say, well, it's just part of the booster rocket that kind of followed them and the sun is reflecting off of it or whatever. But it's important to note that Buzz Aldrin is a trained-ass astronaut, right?
Yeah.
He went through rigorous training. He knew his equipment inside and out. He understood what was going to happen when they blasted off from Earth.
Right.
What was going to happen when they were orbiting. So they were expected to see debris. But he was saying, this ain't that.
Right.
You know?
Well, and like I said, we'll talk more about this later in a different episode. But he went on to talk about some fuckery, some shenanigans.
Yeah.
Essentially, since then, the public has, and NASA has, really done him dirty, like painted him as sort of
like a crazy old man.
A crazy person.
Yeah.
You know, and that's very interesting to me that this is included in there. Several other NASA files are also included where the same sort of thing happens, right? Something is illuminated outside of the capsule where it should just be darkness. And these are trained astronauts. These are scientists. These are military personnel. Like, astronauts have a background before they are made astronauts.
Right.
So it's just interesting to me for sure. What's especially interesting is that NASA came out a few years ago during these, like, hearings and said, you know, we poured over all of our footage and all of our possible, you know, evidence, what you guys are asking for.
Right.
And there was nothing to see. So.
I don't know. And they have this, like, sort of history of, you know, their live feed cams where they're like, you know, it's from the space station and there's, you see the, like, robot arm, like, doing repairs or something. And then there's very obviously some kind of craft or something like enters the frame and then it's like, oh, technical difficulties.
Yeah.
And they're like, this feed is no longer available. Sorry, whoops. And it has that like, like intermission music, you know, while they're trying to fix it. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to donate my NASA t-shirt collection.
So you don't trust NASA anymore?
No.
Or though, okay, listen. Is that exactly what they want you to think? Because the administration wants to privatize space exploration. Interesting. So they're throwing NASA under the bus.
But
under the rocket.
Under the rocket.
You know?
But yeah, but it's not the officials from the US government saying NASA didn't see these things. It's NASA going on the record saying. Yeah. Unless they're, you know, getting their arm twisted or something.
Maybe. I don't know. Another thing is, like, did we go to the moon or not? Is a big thing, you know. But also, there's the camp of we went to the moon and there was stuff there. Right. You can't believe both things. So, like, either we didn't go, and that's a conspiracy, or we went and there were, you know, beings or other entities structures there. Yeah. Right. You've got to kind of pick a camp there, or it's, you know, a real, like, conspiracy theory inception situation.
It's so frustrating because I've seen the documentary and, like, I was convinced we didn't go, you know, but then But then you're like, we believe Buzz Aldrin. Yeah. And there in this file release, there are pictures from the astronauts. They're on the moon, and there's like a spire of light in the distance. Yes. Or like a reflective structure. Right. And that other file, the NASA-AS17-UAP-TRI-72 from Apollo 17, triangular lights. Triangle of lights, maybe. Anyway, that's a file that was released in this latest, I think in the first phase. Yep. On that's the 8th. First phase one. You can see 3 lights in the form of a triangle off in the distance when that should be just darkness. Yeah. And that's in there. So we went,
Yeah.
and there was stuff.
Okay.
That's the camp we're planting our flag in now.
Yeah. I've never really been in the other camp necessarily, but
Right.
I have listened to those who say that, and it can be compelling.
For sure.
You know, we did some great things in Hollywood around that time, so that made sense to me as well. Also, calling from...
Yeah, how does that work? I'm
like
sure
calling
somebody somewhere
the White
knows.
House from the capsule, and everyone can see it on TV.
Just picking
in
up
the
the phone.
60s.
Hello? The moon? You
Right.
know, like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's interesting. All right. What else?
We'll look into that for the Apollo mission episode.
For sure.
We'll figure out how the phones work.
Okay. What else did you see in the file release?
Okay. So another one that's pretty interesting is the Syria white light infrared video.
This is a military,
Yes.
Okay.
And before we get into the military released videos,
okay.
everybody's hopefully have seen the gimbal video and the go fast video.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the first kind of releases that we got, as part of the congressional hearings. Those videos are captured on instruments of fighter planes. Right. And along with those videos, you get some data that kind of helps corroborate what's going on, like sensor data and temperature and speed and air velocity or whatever.
Okay.
It's all listed in the video, and you can kind of see the numbers ticking away as the video goes through. What's interesting is that in a lot of these recent releases, all of the sensor data is redacted.
Oh.
So one of the kind of gripes that a lot of people in the community of UFO enthusiasts, one of their biggest gripes is that information isn't included. So you can't really tell what's going on or if it's even anything anomalous.
That's interesting. I mean, the fact that it's in the files should sort of tell you it's anomalous. Otherwise, it wouldn't be
right. But
categorized in the UAP files. And I would question if that is redacted due to national security.
right. So that's the official explanation is
Okay.
that some of these captures are from assets that are in classified locations.
Right.
So if you have all the data displayed and it shows, the latitude and longitude of where they're currently located,
Right. Well,
you're
and
giving up some secrets there.
for sure. Location, but also asset capabilities.
Right.
And that is a bigger part of this
Yeah.
because some question, are these craft military, tech,
Right.
reverse engineered or not?
Yeah.
But the general consensus, the story, the narrative is that a lot of these are reverse engineered craft, our own military assets, because we're reverse engineering them from either extraterrestrial origin or ultra-terrestrial origin, but found craft beyond our capabilities. And then we, dissect those and rebuild.
And that's a big part of, what Bob Lazar was talking about.
Right.
Figuring out how these craft work and
Yeah.
if we can't even replicate it.
Yeah. But it does make sense to hold on to some of that information that would be considered spilling national security
for sure.
secrets, because that can become a huge problem.
Well, I feel like just like the space race in the 60s, who can get to the moon first, now the race is who can reverse engineer this technology first.
Right.
And one of my sort of, I don't know if it's a conspiracy, but it's all of the countries are saying it's not ours,
Right.
but are they saying it's not ours because they don't want to give up that they figured it out?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it legitimately nobody's
Right.
because it's coming from
somebody's
space
an unknown.
or another dimension or underwater or
Right.
wherever it's coming from?
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know.
But what is that? Okay, so the Syria one, what does
Yeah.
it depict?
Okay, so This is a pretty weird one. Basically, it's infrared footage captured a glowing white object with an irregular shape and highly unusual appearance.
Okay.
Analysis describes it as uneven, misshapen ball of light moving in ways that are difficult to interpret.
So it's not like an aerodynamic, sleek craft.
Right.
So that to me would say, not really a high-tech military asset.
Yes, because
They're not making blobbies.
as far as we know,
Right.
we still have to figure out, lift and
Yeah.
propulsion,
Other science things.
science.
Right. Not so much blobs.
Yeah, we still are working on figuring out how to ignore gravity.
Yeah.
So we have to use other means to
I mean, maybe the answer is
blob shapes.
anamorphous. Yeah. Cracked it. Okay, so there's a blobby thing, nondescript shape,
Yeah.
and it's just blobbing around, or
Just
what is it
bobbing
doing?
around. And that's the problem with a lot of these files,
my
though,
gosh.
because it really is. It's like a tiny little clip of just a thing going, pew, and
Yeah.
then you're like, okay,
Right.
Like, God damn it! Like, show me something that's like so concrete that you can't. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, and I do have that here in my notes as sort of an interesting thing, because really the public reaction to these, aside from this is a distraction, why are we even talking about this?
Right.
And admittedly, even though we are into this is like most of our daily life is questioning these things, reading, watching documentaries, looking into this type of thing. We're paranormal researchers. I don't know where I was going with that. Just bragging about what we do.
We're pretty cool. It's fine.
Whatever. But there are very important things happening in the United States, in the world, that we need to be paying attention to right now.
Right.
And my whole idea about that is like, we can only be distracted if we allow them to distract us. I don't know about you guys, but I can think about more than one thing at a time. I can still make sure I'm voting in my election. We just did that last week. And look over these UAP, UFO files.
Yeah.
We want to be holding them accountable kind of on all things. So if it is a distraction, maybe look at it a little bit and go back to making sure we're also asking and demanding the release of other important files that need to be, fully released, and for things to come of it, right? We can't just be like, okay, finally we got the files. Even with these files. Okay, cool, but what does it mean?
Right.
And what do we do with this information? So, but yeah, the public reaction has been mostly that. Additionally, the goalpost keeps moving. Okay, so that's important. You talked about that. You want to see more. And it's interesting that the question has changed. The goalpost has moved. So originally it's, okay, do these things exist? Are UFOs, are UAP real?
Right.
And I think especially since 2017 with that New York Times article, yes, the government is officially saying this is real in a way, like, by which we mean we cannot identify where these things come from.
Right.
We've put them through a level of scrutiny and checks that are like, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. If it doesn't fit into any of these camps, it is a UAP, right? Unidentified aerial phenomena,
Yep.
which I think is such an interesting change of language as well, because a UFO, that means object. That is like a solid object. You think of something that is very specific.
Yeah.
UAP includes orbs, includes blobbies,
Yeah.
So, and also things that maybe phase in and out of what?
What's interesting, now that you say that, we transitioned from UFO to UAP like quite a ways before we got any of this footage of like
Right.
jellyfish shaped
Yeah.
things, which makes me feel like maybe they knew about all of this way before.
Right.
So,
I mean, some of these dates are like they've been holding on to this stuff. And more about that goalpost moving, though, and the language changing is, like we asked, is this real? And now it's like, okay, officially UAP are real.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, where does it come from? Is it ours? Is it a, government adversary, like another government? Is it extraterrestrial? Is it ultra dimensional? And it's like, okay, first show me the UFOs. And now they're like, okay, here they are. Now we're calling them UAP. Here's a bunch of videos. Here's a bunch of military personnel, trained observers, telling you what they saw. And then the public's like, okay, cool. But then where do they come from?
Right.
Prove to me it's not a foreign adversary.
Yeah, totally.
And now it's like, okay, no one's claiming these. And now people are like, okay, well, show me the information. And they're like, here it is. Here are the files. And now people are like, okay, but where are the bodies?
Yeah.
So it's just like more and more, which sure, keep on it.
Right.
But it's just interesting that people aren't reacting. And that's why I'm like, is this a psyop? Or is this like peppering the thing where it's not like peppering it in to where it's not some big dramatic reaction from
I think
the
that's
people.
exactly it. I think
We're like,
what's
okay,
happening,
cool, we know that.
Because what's
Show us
interesting
more.
is every time we say, okay, but show us the videos of the craft.
Right.
And they're like, oh, sure, here you go. And then we're like, okay, but is it another government? And they're
Right.
like, no. Nobody knows what it is. And we're every
like, got
time we
it.
ask a question, they answer the question with like a tiny little bit of thing,
Yeah.
like a little crumb. And they're
Right.
like, here you go.
But then to an extent, we're like, okay, but tell me what to think of this.
Yeah,
But why do we need them to tell us what to think of it?
right.
We should be thinking and forming our own ideas.
There have been several like people in the United States government who are privy to more information than what we're allowed to know.
And civilians
Right.
are fed,
who have
right?
said you can't fathom what this is. Like you can't, it's not,
Right.
your brain cannot handle it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's terrifying.
It's something you
can't
don't
know.
even know.
Yeah.
Right. You're not asking the right questions. That
Right.
has been said.
So that
It's totally creepy. but
leads
fun.
me to it.
Fun.
They're like drip feeding this to us
Yes.
exactly to your point of because we can't handle it. If they gave us, they're like, okay, here it is. Thump, here's the files.
Right.
It has the craft, the body, where they're from, what they're
means.
doing.
Yeah.
Like what's their agenda. Our brains would explode.
Well, and okay, so that's a hyperbole, obviously, but generally, I
Is
get
it
what you're
though?
saying.
They
We-
have crazy technology.
We would be fine. Certain people would be like, yes, I've been looking into this for decades.
Yeah.
I've believed this already. But it would have some major implications on things like world religions.
Right.
I personally don't believe they have to be mutually exclusive ideas, but I also don't have the full scope of what it is.
Well,
so
okay.
who knows?
I mean, we've had conversations like this before, but it's the whole thing of I feel like religion sort of happened as a way to explain what was going on that our puny little human minds could not categorize effectively. So there's all these story, and I actually would love, because it's very interesting, would love to do a breakdown of like the Bible,
Oh, gosh.
aliens, and like how there's overlapping stories where if you really look at it through like a we're looking for aliens lens, you're like, that could be.
Yeah,
You know?
I've heard that. And like, yeah, religious stories, things in the sky, talking to certain things, and even like up to Renaissance art. Yeah, that's interesting for sure.
And my point is just like we've lacked the ability to communicate effectively what was going on, and sort of pigeonholed ourselves into this like religious view of how the universe works, that if we really did get the truth, it would kind of dismantle a lot of that and cause some
See-
problems for people that have devoted so much time and energy. And
Yeah, that's one aspect of it. I mean, this is multifaceted.
it's a
sure.
bigger conversation.
But even like
Absolutely.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is, his job is sort of like expanding our thoughts on the universe and how it works.
Yeah.
And who is, I'm pretty sure, like fully atheist.
Yeah.
Definitely. He is even saying, like, okay, cool. I see this, this, and this. Show me the bodies and then I'll believe it.
Right.
And he knows the vastness.
Yeah.
I mean, he not necessarily fully comprehends it to any degree that I don't even know, but he's sort of the guy on this whole thing, on the universe, on how that
I
works.
mean, he's sort of notoriously like, yeah, I think that they're out there. They're not here though. Like he doesn't want to believe that there are weird things happening on our little blue marble. Like
Right.
he's kind of,
But I'm just saying, if anyone did, he should sort of be in that camp.
Yeah.
And because you were talking about religion.
right.
So even someone like him is like, no, I don't think so. You may be right that we're like not ready.
Yeah.
Like, would he lose his marbles about it? Like,
Wasn't
can his
there-
mind be blown?
Wasn't there a thing recently about like pastors or like religious congregation leaders being like briefed on like, hey, you might want to tell your people that this stuff is like
Yes.
happening. So figure out how you want to like weave that into your.
So there
Story
is
time.
a rumor about that. And that kind of goes with one of the next things that I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But first, we talked about the public and the public reaction to this. But what goes along with all of this too is the media coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Even like Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about it because he was asked about it on a news segment.
Right.
Historically, apart from the occasional story, like once in a generation, like 1989, George Knapp covers Bob Lazar on like real hard news.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned, the 2017 New York Times article, that's hard news, but it covers UAP. Okay. But aside from those, this type of thing has historically been considered fringe,
Sure.
right? And right now we are in this very surreal situation where even for me, a paranormal investigator, to see and hear like mainstream news
Yeah.
talking about it. Not that I don't think it's a legitimate topic to talk about, but it just historically hasn't been
Right.
deemed as such. And so to hear news channels like hard news talking about alien bodies, speculating different alien races, saying words like non-human intelligence and non-human biologics,
Yeah.
and trying to get more information about that because those buzzwords are coming up in
Yeah.
these hearings. People are claiming we have those. We have proof of non-human intelligence, which can mean a lot of things. So that could even mean like advanced AI. But non-human biologics is a different thing. And so instead of saying, that's another shift in language, right? Like instead of saying UFO, we say UAP.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're saying non-human biologics rather than aliens.
Right.
Because aliens or extraterrestrials mean they come from outside of our planet.
Right.
So perhaps they've been here the whole time or are coming here in a different way. Like extraterrestrial versus ultra-terrestrial, which is what they say when they mean they're coming here from like different dimensional shifts.
Right.
And the news is saying this.
Yeah. And I think that
Like
that's
the regular ass news.
that's exactly
It's
what
so weird.
they're talking about when they're
Yeah.
like, you can't understand.
Right.
I don't understand. You can't understand. And I think it has to do with because it's coming from like,
Yeah.
it's wild, man.
Yeah.
And and even Tom DeLonge, who is one of the reasons that I got into UFOs in the first place,
Yeah.
talks about, I mean, early on, he's like way into UFOs and he talks about all these like crazy cases and stuff. But within the last few years, he's kind of shifted away from saying that it's aliens. And he's like, it's not what you think. It's not aliens. And hearing that from somebody who I've followed for so long, like talking about like that used to be where I got my, UFO information from.
Right.
Even he has shifted away from that narrative, which is so interesting.
Then you have to wonder, like, what have they seen that we haven't seen yet?
Yeah.
And it is sort of this like giant teaser. All of these people, these researchers, these, journalists are saying like, oh, I've seen, and it's not what you think. Like we keep saying, that is bonkers to me.
Yeah.
But then also like, fucking tell us. Yeah. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. God damn it.
Right.
Just give us the file.
Yeah,
they did. File.
How about the real one? Yeah. Because it's got to just be one that just blows it all out of the water.
It's a manila folder with a piece of, it's not even lined paper, it's graph paper. It's
and it has a picture of an alien gray, but it's crossed out. And it just says, not what you think. That's the official.
A big classified stamp on it.
Yeah. Okay, but I did want to get into more theories on like why we're rolling this out. And you talked about that like rumored meeting with religious leaders. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was on social media. That was going around like the White House called a meeting with, religious leaders to talk to them about how to talk to their congregates about this. Mm-hmm. And that's interesting to me for sure. But for a reason that I'm actually kind of worried about, which is a couple of years ago, maybe just under 2 years ago, I swear I saw a video. Jeremy Corbel was talking about being warned about a fake invasion. Mm-hmm. And that something was going to happen in the coming years that isn't going to be what you think it is. Don't fall for it.
Remind me, because that literally just now sparked a thing in my brain. Remind me to come back to that.
Okay.
Go.
Well, I'm just worried. I'm worried that this is what that is. So now they're like hand feeding us this information, these files to get us ready, possibly. And then be like, oh, and we better, here it comes. This is that, like, are they telling us something is coming, or they want us to believe something is coming? So it's that fake invasion idea where they're peppering it in so that soon they could be like, oh, it's the aliens. Yeah. We've been showing you. We've been telling you about all of a sudden. You better listen to us. And then a whole, like, authoritarian government situation takes hold. Because that's how you control people, is with fear. And the fact that they're meeting with, religious leaders, not the fact, but the possibility that they're allegedly meeting with religious leaders to say, like, here's how you control your congregation when they learn about this. Yeah. It's just, that freaks me out more than actual alien invasion, I think.
There was, so on that topic of fake invasion plot or whatever, there is a documentary called, I think it's No Face the Gray, or Mr. No Face.
Mr. No Face.
Yeah. So that's been out for like maybe 10 years. It's been out for a while.
Years, for sure.
In that documentary, this whole thing takes place in Australia. And there's two parts to it. The first part is like a paranormal investigation of this old warehouse thing, and it's a ghost hunt. They're looking for ghosts.
But it was like state sanctioned.
Yeah.
Like they were like, we will come, or we will fly you out here and pay you to investigate the paranormal in this location.
Yes.
Okay.
So during the investigation, they have all the big hits. They get EVPs. There's like shadows. There's all kinds, like
missing time.
Well, and that's what it gets into. Like they lose time.
Yeah.
And one of the pictures that they get, they're like, oh, we caught a ghost on camera, and it's awesome. You can see him like peeking around the corner. And then the internet went nuts, and they're like, that's not a ghost, dude. That's a gray alien.
Yes.
And when you see it, you're like, that's a gray alien.
Right.
So then there's a second documentary that comes out called No Face the Gray. I think the first one is Mr. No Face, and then the second one is No Face the Gray alien or something. close to that. Anyway, so it's this whole other like rabbit hole where they go and they find out that this warehouse that they were at was actually a secret government facility and they had been doing weird stuff. And then there's another guy that hands them documents that he stole.
They were out. Well, it was when they were previewing the film.
Yeah, that's
or
right.
showing the film. And somebody walks up and he's like, I need to give this to you.
Yeah.
And he was all mysterious and hands him a box.
That's right. Yeah, full of files. Anyway, not to go too long-winded on that, but basically what they find out is there's documents in there that talk about how the gray aliens are fake.
They're manufactured. Not just fake. They are being made on a manufacturing line.
For a fake invasion.
Yes.
And then the like whole grand timeline is that there's disclosure, some kind of disclosure, fake invasion, then the actual aliens show up and they're like, what are you guys doing? Like, everybody calm down.
Yeah.
We're here. Let's get a burrito and talk this out. But I had forgotten about that whole deal. So not only was Jeremy Corbel talking about that, but that's been a thing that's been kind of like simmering.
Yeah, we've been wondering about that.
A long time. Yeah.
Because we watched the documentaries and we were like, okay, this is bonkers. But we never fully discount anything. Like, even the most fray of the fray, we're like, interesting. And we keep little pins. I've talked about this. I have pins and everything.
Yeah.
But
I hated that documentary because it like legitimately freaked me out.
Yeah. It's so weird.
I was like, by the end of it, it was one of those ones where you stop watching it, like it ends and you just kind of sit there like,
yeah, like, what the fuck was that?
I don't know what to do with my hands now.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
and like they use this little paranormal investigation team.
Yeah.
Almost as a psyop situation. Like, that is scary. They just thought they were going to get paid. I think they didn't even end up getting paid for it. The government was like, psych.
Yeah.
So no, that's super weird. I want to go back and watch that and brush up on it a little bit. And yeah, let us know if you've seen that and what you think about it. Because there are a lot of like really interesting things brought up.
Yeah.
That now that we're in this space, in this like kind of pre-disclosure
Yeah, we
era,
watched that
what does it
documentary before we started the podcast. So I'm pretty sure.
Or maybe like same time these.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we were
We know
looking
more
for
now.
more cases, I think. No, super interesting. So yeah, what does this file release mean? Is it bad information? Is it misinformation? Is there an agenda behind it? Can it really be more? I mean, more than one thing can be true at a time.
Right.
Is what I'm thinking. Like, maybe some of the info is good. I do think they threw in some things with the file release to muddy the waters. Like I mentioned last time, we love looking at the Apollo mission stuff.
Yeah.
But people have long since made up their mind about that. So people are going to see those files and be like, oh, we already know what this is. This has been explained.
Yeah, and I mean, that's been sort of our take on the last couple of releases anyway. It's been like, well, cool, I guess, but I've seen this before. Like, this is not new.
I mean, but at the same time, I don't want to discredit the whistleblowers who are out there, you know, kind of putting their lives on hold, if not on the line, to come forward. That's an important piece of this for sure.
Yeah, and I understand that this is a process. They have to, like we were talking about earlier, like make sure that the information that they're releasing isn't like putting anybody in danger,
right?
Or putting our country at risk for revealing that we have assets in places we shouldn't have or whatever is going on there. But I am just so impatient about like waiting for things.
Well, and there's just definitely more.
Yeah, well, I mean,
people have seen crazy stuff.
We've seen better videos than this, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that part of it is that these are officially like reviewed by the government or like captured by the government. So that's kind of why they're releasing these ones. They're a little more official than like, you know,
yeah,
Jeff over there
and that
with his
kinda,
camera.
Right. That
Yeah.
kind of gets into what's not in the files. There are some major cases that they could put out.
Yeah.
Any real context. There's not a lot of like, here's the review process for this
Yeah.
and why it's being considered for this file
Right.
reveal. That's not there. That would be interesting
Yeah.
to know how they obtained it, where it's been, why they put it out.
Yeah.
And they're, at the end of the day, they're not going to give us anything they don't want to give us. They are not going to reveal real secrets.
That's true.
So while it is a little bit disappointing to the general public, the general consensus is like, okay, cool. They have more.
That's the thing. If you're listening to this podcast, you are a believer. You
Maybe.
already know. I mean, let's be
You're open. You're
Okay,
probably
open at
open
least,
to
right.
the idea. Yeah.
none of this is like new information to most of us who follow this stuff.
Right. The genre.
The genre. So yeah, I don't know. Like you were saying, I don't know who these files are for.
Yeah.
Because we've already seen this stuff. A lot of it is stuff that's already been released. They just sort of compiled it,
Well, I'm interested because Jeremy Corbel had a very specific group of files that he was like, you better put these out or I will.
Yeah.
And I haven't followed up on if any of those were put out in this last Friday release.
Yeah, he during his presentation, he talked about he's got 46 videos that he wants to release, and that doesn't include the ones that have already been put out. So, and he was like, these are the ones that you are going to want to see.
Right.
And he said that he's not sure when, but he said they are going to be released. So
Okay.
we will sit patiently, I guess.
There's more to this story for sure.
Yeah.
This is unfolding in real time, which is kind of cool to have current events for the paranormal. It's been a real year for that. So.
And I know we said we were going to go through these files, but I feel like just talking about them in general is more entertaining. And if you really want to go through and dig through the files, they're there to look at.
It's really accessible. One that's been circulating that I didn't get to really look into, but I've seen visually is that like humanoid. Someone said it looks like Silver Surfer, just like flying around the sky.
Okay, yeah.
It's like a bluish color. I didn't see the context for that one, but
I feel like I have also seen that one, and it definitely piqued my interest. It's a man, and he's flying.
yeah, interesting. I mean, to me, that would just seem like high tech, cool stuff.
I mean,
Some high tech
look,
toys.
I'll leave you with this.
Okay.
I either want disclosure of aliens, like
Sure.
just tell us, or I want hoverboards. I will take either.
Hoverboards.
Either or. Like not like the one on the wheels and you balance on it. Like I want Back to the Future 2 hot pink Mattel hoverboard.
Sure. Who are you making this demand to?
Whoever
government?
will listen.
Or Mattel?
The government.
Okay.
Mattel. Jerry Bruckheimer. I don't know.
Okay.
Aliens or hoverboards or else.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm saying it. I'm drawing a line in the sand.
All right. But, like we said, this is all unfolding in real time, and we can definitely focus on more than one thing at a time. So let's not allow this to distract us. There's a lot going on, but we can follow all of it. We're smart enough.
Ghosts, cryptids,
Yeah. You know
your
what
UFOs.
I mean. Sure.
We'll follow it all.
Okay. Great. We hope you've had a frightful time with us here at Fright Life, a paranormal podcast.
Thanks so much for listening, you guys. We'll see you next time.